Hi, thanks for joining me in my shop. We're going to take a look at this Sony tape recorder. It says storage. This looks like the kind of thing you'd find in a school, to me. TC-105, 40 watts. What's in here? Uh-oh. Okay, so that's the power cable. So we're off to a slow start with this one. Somebody's cut the power cable off it. So that means a couple of things. One is somebody cut that power cable off and kept the cable. That's what I do. Another one is somebody said we don't ever want anybody to plug this thing in again because I don't know why. Cut off the power cable. Another one could be at any time in a commercial situation, especially like a school, they're going to sell this stuff off. They want to make sure that if anybody plugs it in, it's because they took action to make it plug-inable. In other words, they took this cord and put it back on, and then from then on it's their responsibility. Now, they didn't sell this with the cord on it inviting you to plug it in. Could be that. Who knows? Who knows what it is? Let's see. Okay, is there a tape? Is there a tape? Is there? No, there isn't. There's no tape. That presents me with a bit of a problem. In the lid here, by the way, are these foam pieces that are supposed to push down on the tape reels. This is pretty clean inside. These are all shot, of course. Most foam things don't last. See, every time I push it, it doesn't come back. There's not a lot of foam in here, though. That's a little bit of a mystery. Where'd all the foam go that it's not in here? Okay, that's probably the pause. Let's see, track what? EXCH dot track exchange track X, I don't know, 1 and 4, 3 and 2. It's been used a fair bit because a lot of the words are missing here, or parts of the words are missing. It's very hard to see in the camera. Forward, stop, rewind, fast forward. Forward, stop, rewind. That's about it for that control. Power, tone, record level, and a red light to show when it's in record mode. Well, everything seems okay at this point. Speed control, generally you probably shouldn't be changing these speed controls unless the motors are actually turning. Talking about turning. Feels like the brake is on here. Same thing here. Wow, this is really locked in. Didn't rewind. Could be because of another mechanical piece in here detecting that there's no tape. Forward. No, it's loose. Not very good. It's not. I think you should spin free, but it's. If I push down on it, it's like the brake is on. Lift it up, it's fine. Don't know what that's all about. So I'm asking myself, should I, they've cut this off, really awkwardly. It's way tucked up in here. If I'm going to replace this, I'd have to take it all apart and get in there and replace it. I just want to test it first. I have to go dig up a tape. So I think I can get this so I can get the wires paired off and I can put a temporary connection on here and test it out. But I need to find a tape. Oh my gosh, where am I going to get a tape from? Tape. Okay, let's see if I've got a tape. This is my own vintage record player. Right here. Pretty sure there's a tape in here. Aha! Okay, fantastic. Wow, look at that old guy. On this tape is a recording of my now 30-year-old son when he was about 2.5. It's interesting. I don't remember doing that, but that's a good idea. It's off. You know what? This is ice cold because it's been in my garage. The humidity in my house is so low, I don't think it's going to collect any moisture though. Okay, that's better. So these will fit on here. Well, at least let's check. Make sure they'll fit. Okay. Good show. Okay. So with the tape, I think it makes sense to try to make this go. For me, in my shop here. So I need to cut this back. Oops, sorry about that. A little guillotine action. A little tricky to... Just try something crazy here. See if I can't just strip the whole shebang at once. Presto. Three wires. So power here, power there, but one of these should probably be on the line side of the incoming power, and the other one should be on the grounded side. And I won't know which is which here. I can figure that out, I think. Let me try that. Otherwise, there's a chance I hook this up, plug it in. All the exposed metal here will be at 120 volts to ground, and I will be ready to take quite a ride. I want to take that ride. I've taken that ride before. It's not pleasant. Let's see if we can sort that out. So the question is, are either of these wires connected to the chassis? Exposed on the top. Let's try this one first. And I need a little piece of wire here. Better to be a little bit sure of these things. Believe me, even if this test suggests to me that there isn't a problem, I'll still be cautious about this. Touching various metal screws and other things, nothing happening at all. Let's just make sure. Yep. Now we'll try the other wire. Nothing happening anywhere. Okay, so what that suggests to me let's turn it on. Where was the on switch? Was there an on switch? Yeah. Okay, so that, I'm not saying these readings really mean anything in themselves, but switch turns it on and off. That's a good thing to know. Turn it off. We're going to repeat this grounding test with the switch off and then on. Just because I'm just nervous enough. And I know these things can play some tricks. Ultimately, this will be plugged into an isolation transformer here in my shop anyway, which makes it not possible to get a shock to ground. Yeah. So all those tests indicate I shouldn't be concerned. cheater wire. Yep, here it is. Okay, so this is the cheater wire. Okay, this is not the safest thing by any means. These big exposed wires here, you know, short circuit's not too far away, particularly if I'm tugging or twisting on this wire. Let's spin it around here. Okay, so my bench outlet is switched off at the moment. There's no power in it. Power it up soon. Now I don't have the tape in. This is just a load through here. Let me put it in. One of the reasons is there can be a tape detecting lever in here, and when the tape runs out, it shuts itself off. So we'll put a tape in. Appears to be in the right spot in there. Okay, it's on stop. Volume is right on the on-off. Tone's in the middle. Record doesn't matter. Pause switch is unpaused. Plugged in. With the switch off, we'll apply some power. I'll do it through my dim bulbs. Again, somebody cut the power cord off. Occasionally, that's an indication. Oh, there's some more stuff to look at first. Occasionally, that's an indication that something bad happens. Power this guy up. Speaker, external speaker, monitor, auxiliary in, mic in. So lots of interesting inputs and outputs. Speaker on. I had the speaker off here. That wouldn't have worked too well. Okay, let's put this back in position. Let me examine the situation here. We're good as long as I don't rotate this or move it too much. Again, switch off, power on. Okay, this meter has jumped up, which indicates full voltage is right in my outlet here, 123 volts. That also indicates this thing is drawing nothing right now. Hey, good, it's turned off. Switch on. Watch these lights up here. Oh, goody. See the power dropped. I hear the motor running. I see a light has come on here. I can feel air blowing out of the crack here. It must have a fan in it. Oh, don't do that. That's exactly how I'm going to get a short circuit. Don't do that. Pretty quiet. Let's turn it up a bit. Ooh, a little hissy. Tone. Tone's working. Not sure where all the hiss comes from. Okay, could be the switch here. Nope, could be this. Got quiet. It's getting quieter as we go. That's either a good thing or a bad thing. Let's get this guy playing. Okay, volume down, forward. Oh, not a moving. She's sticky from she's sticky. Not hearing much there. So my guess now is this is what happened to this machine. It went like this, producing no sound, just a hiss. Somebody said, it's no good. Cut the cord off to indicate it's got a problem. Sell it off for scrap at the next school equipment auction. That's my guess on this. TRS3. It could be I'm on part of the tape here that's got nothing on it. Okay, so let's try a rewind. I end up hearing my son's voice come out of this. No, that's not his voice. The number counter is working. I see it going by there. Lubrication is required, I think. Sound is coming out from under here. Keep going, come on, you can do it. Keep rewinding. Get a speed control up here. It's really laboring. This should be spinning like crazy. Poor guy. Really moaning. Okay, is there anything here? Come on. Feels like almost like a brake is stuck. There we go. Something funny going on there. Oh, it's really zooming. Fast forward. Forward. Looks like it's really going. That looks like it's fast forwarding. That kind of speed. That's not me turning it. I'm just pushing it down. And off she goes. Okay. These tracks. This is still on play mode. Nothing. Nothing cometh out. Okay. Stop. Pop this off. Make sure the tape and the tape head are in contact. This has been done many times. These screws are really beat up here. So this has been taken off many times before. Playback head and the record head. Yeah, two little doors. So this one's got a lot of, it's not foam, it's a cloth, I can't think of the name of the material, felt. A felt pad here. There's a felt pad here too, but it's really worn down. So it could be the tape is not being pushed against the tape head. This is pulling the tape out right now. And I'm sure when we flip it to play, here, let me turn it off. Flip it to play. Oh, it didn't fall back. Again, lubrication issues. Oh yeah, that's really, really stuck. So that's fine. That's fine. But the overall mechanism is really, really stuck. Okay, so if I help it along, she's closed now. Turn it back on. It's in forward. Ooh. The all dirty volume control. Play on. Come on. It went really quiet suddenly. Maybe I just take this off. Oh, now I released this little lever here that detects the tape is there. So I'll go back. Can't take the strain off too much here. Come on, baby. make some noise. Sure sounds like it's ready. I don't know for sure there's something on this tape at this point either. Let's go back further. That's going good. That's how it should be going. Okay, and stop. Back almost all the way now on the tape. Play. Little doors aren't moving. This whole mechanism is not moving. There we are. And come on, let's go. This is spinning. What's holding the tape? Tape is locked here. Oh, what did it do? It glued itself to this. What? How could that happen? Come on, baby. Nothing. Okay. Stop it. Put the tape under here. I do want to be careful with this tape. It does have a recording of my son on it. Both my sons, in fact. I've got a 30-year-old and a 27-year-old son. I got two sons. Okay. Let's just try a couple of crude things here. See, I would imagine that would make noise. I'm touching the terminals on the back of the head. Nothing at all. Touch them with my finger. So there's no sound coming out of this thing at all. Now it's just possible that in stop mode, I may still hear. Look at that. The hiss is independent of the volume. Oh my gosh. Hey ho! Of course, I got this running straight through here. I don't have it going through the Capistan and the like. Well, maybe this button is causing some trouble here. I can imagine the record button stopping it from playing. See, if this is just a lubrication issue in the end, that's all this thing requires, I can probably fix it right up. It's tricky how this goes under here. It's a little awkward. Okay, we're in place. Play. This didn't close again. Come on, Danny Michael, show up. Oops, a little too far. If this comes on with the volume up this all, you're going to hear it. Of course, this is locked out now. I think it's a dud. Wow, it's loud. That's different. That's my son. Okay, that's enough. That shows enough. Okay, so we want to make this guy work properly. And now I'm a little excited because if this works properly, it's going to play my son's tape. I'm going to hear my son when he was 2.5. I haven't heard this tape. I probably made it when he was 2.5. Actually, my other son was around, so I may have done a couple of tapes with my old tape recorder. And then I haven't played it again for about 20 years. Something like that anyway. So it's kind of exciting. So I'm really motivated to make this guy work so I can hear my son. Now my old tape recorder here, the old tube one I have, the one I made this tape on, it probably works too, but I'm not going to get into that right now. So fix a little bit of foam here. It's hardly even an issue. I'm sorry, not foam, but that stuff. Lubricate a pile of things. Clean a pile of switches and controls. And I think you got a 100% worker here. Some interesting potential inputs. And isn't this a stereo? 1, 4, 2, 3. 1, 4, 2, and 3. Well, it does not look to be stereo at all. So I guess you have 2 mono tracks here. Why it's 1, 4, and 2, 3. Somebody's going to explain it to me. I won't worry about it. Okay, so it's all about lubrication and stuff like that. That's the plan then. Okay, let's see if we can figure out how this comes apart. I don't have a manual. I haven't gone looking for one. It's just a lubrication deal. I don't think we need a manual necessarily to do that. I notice all these screws are pretty beat up. There's 4 here. There's 2 here. There's some right in the corners here. Up here and here. This panel is probably part of the chassis. I don't see it moving. Doesn't prove much of anything. Hey, hold it. Hold your horses here. Hold your horses here. Not loud. Still got the power on it. And that's how you get electrocuted. In fact, I'm going to pull it out over here. I was lucky. Of course, I had the power on with my dim lights. If I actually generated a short circuit back here, my lights would have come on and I would have jumped. Nothing bad would have happened. There's some big screws here. Big screws here. You can see the speaker hole there. What have we got here? Caution, disconnect supply before opening. Now, put this tag on the bottom of this. Why would that make sense? Put this warning tag on the bottom. It's possible these feet have to come off. So you really think this warning tag would be sitting right where you would okay, there's little screws inside here too, but they're also probably just holding these feet on here. Okay, let's see if this will move relative to the cabinet if I put a little pressure on it. Moves relative to the side here, doesn't move relative to the front. This and this move together. So these little screws, to me, they really look like they're simply holding this panel to something. And these screws really look small to hold this machine. These screws look big, like the kind of thing that's holding something heavy and solid. These ones also look fairly light. Okay, so I'm going to take a guess here that this whole front panel will lift off. This whole thing. I have a problem with this button here. Problem with this. It's got a screw behind there. Something behind there. Screws have been worked a lot. There's a reason why they've been worked a lot. Because they have to be. Because I'm going to take them out. That's my conclusion. Conclusion is, I am now the one who's ruining the screws. That's my conclusion. It's a little tiny screwdriver here. Nothing. Oh. Uh-oh. Right. Here's my wonderful selection of Phillips screwdrivers here. Nowhere. Let's try a flathead. Sometimes you can stick a flathead into a coming off of a metal bracket down there. Let's take these ones out first here. Let's see what this buys us. Whole top is coming off. Screw missing. Looks like 2 screws missing right here. Held by these 2 top screws, I think, these 2 upper. This one here. Maybe both. Let's just try the upper one over here. Yeah, loosen this off. Oh, that guy was in there pretty solid. There we go. What's this funny thing? It's pushing down on here. Okay. Now this looks pretty much like any old mechanical player, like a record player or anything inside. What's this? It says auto on it. What's that for? So I'm just looking things over here to notice stuff I don't want to break the hard way. Like, look at this spring. Can you see it there? It's easy to drag a tool through there and smash that off. What? Anything else like that? Anything else we could hook, catch? Have a spring come swing out of here, and I'd never know where it came from. Doesn't look like it. Looks like everything's. Doesn't look like anything's gonna come flying out. Oh, here's something. That's on with it. Looks like this has bit the dust before, and this is somebody's repair attempt. Could well be the AV department in a school. So when you put the cover on, the cover holds this, so it can't fall out. Okay. And now we just see all kinds of egregious lubrication issues in here. Let's take a look. Focus on here. Okay. So there's a ton of lubrication. I got to change the focal length on this focal. So we can get a close-up. So hold on 1 second. This will take but a second. Okay, it might take 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna kind of start up in this corner here. See, it's just all dried up lubrication. All kinds of little pieces. This is a brake here. I don't think the brake was releasing 100% before. This dried lubrication down here. Look at this. See this flat piece of metal, and it's running along the flat chassis. This is the kind of thing that will stick in place and moves. Actually, it looks like there's a bit of liquid lubrication here. Okay. But everything's sticky. What's going on top of this? So that would strike, that suggests to me that some kind of liquid has come out of the rubber and is just collected on the surface. It's like oil. You know what that might be? Somebody sprayed WD-40 in here, and that's the overspray. It's possible. Let's keep moving on. So, everything is a mess. Need lots of cleanup in here. Yeah, see, this stuff's just not moving smooth enough. But lubrication's no problem. Belt is really good. That belt's gonna last. It's gonna last longer than me. See, look at that. So it's just one big lubrication job. There's the brake over here. At least the brake pad is really good. Yeah, actually the lubrication is not completely shot. Maybe it's shot in some places and not in others. there's pretty bad. This is the record. I've locked it in. Locked it in there. How do we unlock it easily? Put the knob back on. There we go. Springs up in there. Pretty heavy duty one down there. Okay, now up around the head. See some, it's probably tape debris here. Okay, a Capistan roller. Stick my fingernail in it. Yeah, I still got some grip. I got a little oil on my fingers here. Yeah, that turns pretty nicely actually. Just give it a little push. The motor itself is well lubricated. I only got this whole gizmo here. Wow, okay, so a lot of the mechanics for this, yeah, don't wave the mic. A lot of the mechanics for this part are underneath this plate. Moving this thing over here. Where does that go? So, see, there's a. See that large piece on the shaft? That's the kind of thing that can bind easily. Big long piece on a shaft. And it's down under this plate here. What's that? ISO, International Standards Organization. What's that? There's some adjustments here. There's a little adjustment for the head. It's just one adjustment, so this would be tipping the head, I guess. This one looks adjustable. Not adjustable. Yeah, maybe it is. This is adjustable. This is the tape guide. You can see it's spring loaded at the bottom. Turn the screw down or up to raise the tape up or down. Here's its brother over here. Looks like some interesting locking mechanism in there. What's that little pin in the middle? You put a screwdriver in there with a pin there. Got me on that. Okay, we got this lever here. This is the one this is the pause lever. So it also bangs in right here. Bangs that pot metal piece. I think that's pot metal. It's a casted piece, and then it tries to push these off the tape like that. So that's the pause position. Tape not squeezed. Also opens up the Capistan, so that's not squeezed. The motor probably continues running, so it will just basically wear out the tape in that spot. Lots of little adjustments here. Spring. That's the tape switch. If you listen carefully, you can hear it click. That seems just fine. Okay, it's just a big lubrication job. Nothing more than that. Yahoo! Okay, so I'm going to get on with cleaning all this and re-lubricating it, and then we'll test it out and see what happens.